Hi, this is Shan Smith with Good Sense Automation. Good Sense Automation is a systems integrator. We're located in Greenville, South Carolina. Our specialties are robotics, vision, and PLCs. This is a short presentation on subroutines using Studio 5000s. Subroutines are small programs that operate outside the main routine that allow us to write more efficient and more effective PLC code. We get more effective scan time, which means if we have a subroutine, we're not executing that code if that programs or if that we're not executing that code if that subroutine's not being called, which again makes for more efficient PLC scan time. If we call a subroutine, our program jumps over or jumps out of the main routine into a new track or a new routine. After that program or that subroutine has been completed, our program goes right back to the main routine. So it jumps in and then jumps right back into the main routine and completes that task. So here it is, a quick and brief presentation on Studio 5000 Jump to Subroutine. All right, so let's get into this lesson on Jump to Subroutine. Screen share. Let's go to Team Viewer, connect to that remote PC. All right, so let's talk about Jump to Subroutine. I'm going to go into my main program. And in my main this is not what I wanted. So let me, yes it is. Okay. All right, so in my main routine, you currently see a JSR jump to subroutine. In rung 6, we have a JSR jump to subroutine and it jumps to VFD control. In this jump to subroutine, it's a non-conditional jump to subroutine, which means every time that my PLC does a scan cycle, the logic in this subroutine and VFD control is assessed and the IO is executed. If I put in a conditional jump to subroutine, the IO will only be executed when that subroutine is called. So if I go to main program, we right click and we add new routine. I'm going to name this routine test, T-E-S-T, and let's make it test 1, 2, 3, make it simple. We can also create a description of the subroutine and the type, how we're going to create the instruction. We have the option of ladder diagram, sequential function chart, function block diagram, and structured text. But let's stick to ladder in this application. All right, so we have created the subroutine, test 1, 2, 3. So now in my main program, I'm going to add a rung. So we're going to right click, add rung, and in this rung, we need a set of contacts, open contacts, and I need a JSR. My subroutine will be in controller instructions. So if I find, where is that? Program control. That's going to be in program control. So in program control, I need a JSR jump to subroutine. If I double click on JSR, and I put that subroutine and jump subroutine in my logic, we cut the extra instruction. Also, you'll notice that when I add the JSR, I need to get a JSR name. So let's call it again, test, T-E-S-T. 1, 2, 3 is what we decided. And then we have input parameter and return parameter. What are those? If I right click on that and go to instruction help, we can look at those details. So we have a jump to subroutine and ladder diagram, function block example, structured text example, but also what is the input parameter and the return parameter? The input parameter is immediate data from this routine that you want to copy to a tag. And then the return parameter is a routine in which you want to copy the result of the subroutine. So you can input data into the subroutine and pull data out with the input parameter and the return parameter. We're not going to use those in this example. That will be in a more complex application. So let's get rid of the question mark, and I remove the return parameter. And let's get rid of the question mark. And again, I remove the return parameter. Now here, I'm going to add a test bit. I'm going to call it test bit. I think I have some test bits already. Let's go with test bit 8. So something is, the question mark is still there. Let's get rid of it. So now we have an input or some conditional logic. And the only time that the subroutine test 1, 2, 3 will be called is when this bit is true. If not, the logic will not be executed. Let's go into the subroutine and play some logic in the subroutine. So in test 1, 2, 3, I have no logic. Let's add a set of open contacts. So I'm going to go back to my bit level control. Set of open contacts. Right click, new tag, and let's call this test bit 10 with that new tag, and create. And now I'm going to add some logic in this network. Matter of fact, let's add a timer. Let's go with the TON, time on delay. With my on delay timer, I do need to give my timer a name. New tag, let's call it jump time. Underscore time. So we did add a tag name and create. And we need to add a preset value. So I'm going to add 8,000. And 8,000 will give me 8 seconds before my time on delay enables or changes the state of the done bit. So we have our subroutine. We have some logic in the subroutine. Let's see if we can download this to our controller. Let's go online. And we're going to download and download. Yes, we're going back to remote run mode. So right now you can see that we are online. The controller is okay. The IO is responding, and we are in remote run mode. So right now, if I go to my test bit 10 and I toggle this bit, you notice that the contacts are closed and the TON is not counting because this logic is not being executed due to the fact that my subroutine is not being called. So I'm going to toggle this bit again and turn it off. Toggle bit. I'm going into my main routine where we call the subroutine. And in my main routine, my subroutine test 1, 2, 3, again, is not being called because the logical continuity is not there to call the routine. So now I'm going to toggle test bit 8, toggle bit, and now we are calling the subroutine. Let's go back into the subroutine and see what happens when we toggle the test bit for this routine or for the logic. I toggle it, we see the timer counting. So this is the basic instruction for adding a subroutine, how it works, and when that subroutine is called. I'm Shan Smith with Good Sense Automation. If you have any questions, please reach out. Have a great day.